遠くまで歩こうよ果たして小さな幸せを見つけて湿った月が窓覗いてこっちへおいでと笑った似たもん同士なんだよね案外分かり合えない部分も安牌月明かりをめくって残像誰かにとっての普通をしよう私と踊ってよもん来ねこっちで遊ぼうさにさい隠し事ばっかの一切ねこっちで遊ぼうよみんなこのもったいカーテンを開けて嘘みたいな夜を抜け出そうまだやることばっかで忙しいけど休みあの一等星になって街をハイジャックしようぜこのメロな今日をずっと酔いでいこう街明かりを奪って月で待ち合わせ届きそうで届かないあなたはムーンライトわけもなく寂しい夜が来て古くなっていく記憶の上で眠りたい似たもん同士なんだから厄介隠し事すらも抱えて厄介まだやることばっかで忙しいけど休みあの光の方へどこか遠い方へこのメロな今日をずっと酔いていこう月なりな闇の種話を聞かせて私とあなただけの世界であの一等星になって街をハイジャックしようぜこのメロな今日をずっと酔いでいこうあなただけの心であなただけを持って眠れそうで眠れないこんな夜は踊ってよムーンライトでこっちで遊ぼうさに再会隠し事ばっかのインサイねこっちで遊ぼうよみんな街明かりを奪って月で待ち合わせ届きそうで届かないあなたはムーンライト遠くまで歩こうよ裸足で小さな幸せを見つけて湿った月が窓を覗いてこっちへおいでと笑った似たもん同士なんだよね案外分かり合えない部分も安牌月明かりをめくった残像私にとっての普通でいよう
Test. Test. There you go. What's up, Toshi? How doing, bro? Alright. Man, it's cold. Right, I'm not sure when one's gonna show up, but yeah, we're gonna check out. I'm gonna check out like Warhammer stuff today. How you doing, bro? I found some lore videos earlier. Lore. Damn, that's a billion views. Why is my hand like that? It's like I'm scratching myself. Actually, okay, I think we're good. Yeah, I just switched to headset. All right, let's switch. Bam. All right, so. Okay, so this one's from Bricky. Yeah, I've seen him like he has a lot of Warhammer content.
In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium exists the Empire of Man, a backwards carcass of an empire comprised of many devoted forces, gigantic robot knights, religious machine cultists, and incredibly heavily armored women, most likely with sweltering abs. And one must know what those abs taste like.
Taste. Shit. Damn it, got me.
My Gamer Supps flavor is here. Sweet six-pack has arrived. A delicious and refreshing cherry pineapple blend.
It's not on me, man.
Play the sound. Yes, my Bricky's official Gamer Supps flavor is here. Sweet six-pack, not only in regular energy mode, but also in caffeine-free. The cherry pineapple flavor is not the kind of flavor that just smacks you in the face. It is light, it is refreshing, and it's one of those things where you sip it and you go, not bad. And next thing you know, you are having your fourth refill the same day. And it is available now. Link in the description. Use code Bricky for 10% off your entire order. Not just for this, but for everything you buy. And I'm not dumb. If you buy any of these tubs, regular caffeine-free of my sweet six-pack flavor, you will get a Muscle Girl 32-ounce shaker completely for free. There are only a couple thousand of those shakers, so get it while supplies lasts. I cannot believe we finally have this, but I told everyone, like, once you find out the flavor, you'll be like, yeah, that tracks, and damn straight does it track. Sweet six-pack available now. Code Bricky, link in the description.
Oh, actually, one sec. Let me just fix something. Okay, there you go.
The age of knowledge and enlightenment has ended. The age of darkness has begun. Roughly 60 million years ago, there existed aliens. And these aliens lived short, painful lives. They belonged to radiation-stricken worlds and often died of various cancers before the age of 30. These aliens, the Necron tier, looked up to the
Okay, I never heard
stars
of that.
and found extreme beings of real power, beings with the ability to create life, the old ones of the galaxy. They asked
Jesus
these
Christ,
old
we're
ones for
starting from
help.
there.
Please cure us of our ailments. To which the old ones said, piss off. So the Necron tier gathered together and did the sensible thing. They declared war upon these old beings and were promptly beaten into the dirt back to their short, painful lives.
Which
In
one?
the world of Warhammer,
PS5?
there is a hell. This hell is not like you and I know it. It's more of an afterlife, a place where dead souls end up. This place has many names: the Empyrean, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium, and the Ether. But mostly, we just call it the Warp. While you and I know of hell as a place of horrors and punishment, the Warp isn't really that. Not in the beginning. It's energy, but the kind of energy formed from thought and soul, psychic energy, where the dead souls of people end up in a place that is impossible to understand. No laws of reality exist. Like, time is merely a suggestion, and it is not something that can be braved easily.
So it's basically kind of like what's inside a black hole, probably.
Warp would be like sailing the ocean in a pirate movie. To jump from your ship would be certain death. To stay in the sea for too long on your boat could drive a man mad. And there are many dangerous things lurking in those depths. Yet the sea is not evil. It simply is. Mostly. There are more malevolent beings in those waters, areas that you do not sail towards. This would be known as the realm of chaos. The realm of chaos exists in the Warp as a special area led by 3 chaos gods. Khorne, the god of combat, murder, and slaughter, with a pile of skulls taken in his name.
I never watched it.
Tzeentch, god of change, mystery, and deceit, a confusing paradox of lies, schemes, and sorceries. And Nurgle, god of rot, pestilence, and Genshin impact. All things rot in the end. And Grandfather Nurgle is waiting for you with open arms. These gods ruled their respective realm in the Warp, sending their many followers against each other in the great game to be the most powerful of all the gods. So the Warp exists. Hell is real, parallel to our galaxy, with the realm of chaos and its gods fighting for control. But there are also gods of real space, gods of the normal world too. They're called Catan, and they eat stars.
You think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
These star gods saw the plight of our poor Necron tier and how the old ones cast them aside and said, you know what? You guys want immortality? Oh, we will make it happen. We are the gods of the tangible, of real space. We can give you a cure.
Oh, shoot.
So then they ate all their souls and turned them into robotic automaton, feasting on their souls and leaving a hollow shell of an intelligence left that is technically immortal. With the power of an entire species' souls, they turned their new robotic slaves on the old ones and hunted them to extinction. The Necron tier, now the soulless, undying Necrons, got their wish at the price of their souls. But we can count the number of kind gods on an amputated hand. With time, the selfish star gods turned on each other, fighting one another for more chances at glory and power. With this, the leader of the Necrons, Zarek, the Silent King, the man who doomed his species when he accepted this deal, waited, planned, bide his time until he seized the perfect moment and turned his legions of undead citizens against the star gods. Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken. So Zarek broke the star gods into thousands of pieces and locked them away in vaults,
it's basically
taking their
Voldemort.
free will away as they did to them, and sealed them away as basically Pokemon to be used as weapons in the future.
Once they get loot boxes.
It's Pikachu!
It's the Void Dragon!
Zarek then, with his perfect memory, exiled himself for his sins, flying out to the darkness between galaxies to atone for what he had done. This entire situation, the genocide of the Old Ones and the rebellion of Zarek, will go down in history as the War in Heaven. It is the most brutal war the galaxy has ever seen and ever will see. This was a conflict that took an entire galaxy-spanning species and pitted them against gods that ate stars. The Necrons, rather crippled from, you know, the War in Heaven, decided to go to sleep in gigantic tomb worlds on various planets until the upstart species of the galaxy died out. And so turns out when you have a war that lasts tens, hundreds of thousands of years and involves the genociding of multiple species, the Old Ones of the galaxy, and the consumption of souls from an entire race, the warp gets a little wacky. You know, if you had a kiddie pool and it was nice and calm, Korn is over there splashing about, so you don't really go in that direction. Nurgle has explosive diarrhea, so you don't really go in that direction either. But you can still kind of get in the pool. The pool's still fine. Turns out when you add a couple trillion souls to that kiddie pool, it'll make the waves a little more turbulent. And turns out a lot of them like to pick a side, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Korn. So the once calmer warp, the once relaxing kiddie pool, has now been bloated. A million years of war will certainly make Korn, god of murder and slaughter, more powerful. A million years of war will probably make Tzeentch, god of deception and change, a little more powerful. And good God, a million years of war will make Nurgle, god of decay, just the tiniest bit more powerful. Now, entering that kiddie pool is no longer fun, it's dangerous. The warp is now a problem. Hell is resembling hell a lot closer to what we imagined it originally. The Sea of Souls and the Realm of Chaos are now intertwined.
Overpopulation.
So who else to brave the galaxy than a species that won't need to deal with that?
Age of the Elder.
The Eldar are space elves. They have a lot of the traits that you probably think of when you think of elves. Tall, slender, pointy ears, bit more androgynous looking, no matter what DeviantArt will tell you, and a bit stronger on the emotional side. The Old Ones, as I mentioned, could create life. And when they were getting, you know, absolutely bodied by the Catan and the Necrons, they made some new races to try to help them. One of them was the Eldar. It didn't save them, but they're here now anyway. Oh, and also the Orcs, but
orcs.
They're busy right now.
What the fuck?
The Eldar are a particularly psychically powerful race, so they were really adept at being able to handle the new turbulent warp of chaos and good at killing Necrons, hence why they went to sleep.
It's like Protoss and Warcraft, StarCraft.
Is basically like being a wizard, but you get your wizard powers from hell. This is called being a psyker. And basically, if you want to do cool wizard shit like lightning from your hands or reading someone's mind, you can do that, but you siphon the energy to do that from the warp. Luckily, the Eldar are very good at handling this without too many negative effects because, you know, summoning power from the Sea of Souls with the new Chaos friends can be a bit of an issue. But Eldar are pretty good at it. And you see, what's really cool and also awful about Warhammer is that most developed species travel long, faster than light distances by going through that warp. They create a tear in reality to unreality and move through it. Faster than light travel.
That's why it's called the warp.
Cringe. We go through hell itself to deliver your packages. For those of you who play Minecraft, you know how the Nether is like a pocket dimension? So moving 10 spaces in the Nether is actually moving something like 1,000 in the real world. That's basically what warp travel is. Just much like in the Nether, there are a lot of things that want to kill you. The Eldar found a way to do so in between realities. Not regular reality, not the warp, something else. A purgatory of sorts, a fabricated psychic realm that allowed them to travel without fearing the negative effects of the warp. The Eldar were the perfect fit for the new galaxy, and they took it with open arms and pointy ears. The empire of the Eldar spread everywhere, and it spread all the way until now. The 21st century. That's right. While you
So as of this point, the orcs are just like minding their own business.
were watching NPC streams on TikTok, the space elves were ruling the galaxy, and they did so for quite a long period of time.
We know how to be friends.
The 21st century came and went. Humanity grew and grew, all under the nose of their elf overlords. At this time, humans advanced, your classic sci-fi style way. We began to expand, colonize our solar system.
So where does humanity come from?
Created new and more powerful machines and starships. The age of Terra, also known as Earth, but we call it Terra here, was here and existed between the 21st century all the way until the 15th millennia. Not much is known about this time. Not much needs to be known. Humanity grew up, sought the stars.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like humanity's kind of like just hiding in one corner and then just showed up somewhere like after the Eldar spread, and then humanity just showed up. They say, "Oh, sort of D&D people, they'll cancel you." I go, fucking D&D people.
It's classic. Then came the years between 15,000 and 25,000, the age of technology, or to some, the dark age of technology. This is when humanity reached a new apex of technological understanding. When you think of sci-fi, there's a lot of things you can think of. Star Trek, maybe Star Wars style, you can go cyberpunk dystopian. The age of technology was deep sci-fi, like a scientific prowess that fringed on magic. This is also when the first ever psychers began showing up in humanity. Individuals with the genetic mutation to be able to access the warp.
So psychers started with the Eldars, right? Kind of makes you think. How did it get to humanity? Wink, wink.
And then because of that, travel through it. Humanity was no longer constricted to their early ways of travel. With warp travel, they could go anywhere in the galaxy. They equipped ships with gigantic AI machines, with everything you would ever need to know about mankind, and sent them out on colony ships to expand their influence across the galaxy. And this was truly the golden age of humanity. And with every golden age, there is a fall. While the new human upstarts of the galaxy were reaching new levels of technology and prowess, the Eldar were engaging in debauchery. What happens when a species
I think I can do that tomorrow.
You can produce unlimited food out of nothing. Your need for farmers and workers, gone. You have dominated the stars and have created a fast travel system that doesn't rely on the dangers of the warp. You have nothing else to do. You have no struggles, no problems, and feel as if there is nowhere else to go. Well, you begin to experiment. The Eldar started harmless enough. You know, you take a serious interest in your species' culture, your arts, paintings, poems, plays. These are Eldar, elves, remember? Their emotions are heightened, more powerful than us humans. So your plays get louder. They start to push on the limits of your hearing ability. Your music becomes different, more deranged. It pushes the boundaries of what is art. The visual spectacle of art becomes more bizarre, more delusional, more eccentric. And let's not forget a very important sense. Touch. Pornography is one.
Oh, I thought it was money.
Brothels is another. What if they all mixed? What if your brothels were part of your art and music? And what if those became more deranged? The boundaries of debauchery were not just met,
Isn't that just California?
Next thing you know, murder is commonplace and often mixed with the art, music, and sex. Pain is a common byproduct of entertainment.
Why?
Whatever sensation you can have must be increased,
now, do you have cat girls?
be enhanced, must be taken to the limits. The Eldar Empire slipped into a nightmarish realm of debauchery and excess, with the worst of it taking place in a city in the Webway, a black market for these kinds of heinous acts known as Kamara. Some Eldar saw the writing on the wall, saw what was happening to their species and how far they had slipped. So they boarded continent-sized starships called craft worlds and left their empire, seeking a more enlightened, calmer existence among their peers. Some, those in Kamara, pushed it to even greater heights, relishing the pain and torment they inflicted on those around them. All during this, the warp, the yin to the yang of the world, was fed by these emotions, by the psychic power of the Eldar, by the souls taken in these depraved acts.
Because they're using their powers
and just like that,
from the warp.
Eldar ended. Slanesh the fourth chaos god was birthed into existence
What the fuck?
and consumed the souls of 90% of the Eldar population.
Nice.
Those that fled were spared the worst of it, and those in the webway and Kamara were able to stave off the pull of Slaanesh so long as they continued to commit horrid acts
So
of
ding dong. I
torture
didn't-
and violence.
I didn't.
But for the majority of the Eldar, their empire died with Slaanesh's birth. The new fourth chaos god, she who thirsts, the god of unspeakable excess
Are you sure she's the one who thirsts? Or maybe it's like everyone else.
of pleasure, pain, hedonism, and perfection had been born. With the fall of the Eldar Empire came the ruin of humanity. Slaanesh's birth sent storms in the warp across the galaxy, making travel between star systems impossible. Coupled with a huge classic AI rebellion, as a staple in these sci-fi settings,
Of course.
humanity began to suffer the age of strife.
Why?
Now, planets that relied on intergalactic travel were completely cut off. Long-range messages normally sent through the warp were snuffed out. If you were a planet that was great at mining stuff but couldn't get food, well, you know that movie about the rugby players in the mountains? Oh, and because of these insane warp storms and fluctuations, psychers began to appear among the human population a bit more often. Now, this initially had them hunted down as witches, because that's pretty common in this setting, but some deemed it right to protect them. Unfortunately for those people, psychers, because they open a gateway to the warp, don't really know how to use their powers well, and they kind of attract demons who then force their way through the psyker as a conduit of sorts and begin to slaughter the population of your planet. The age of strife was a catastrophic period of time for humanity and set back their progress tenfold over the not one, not two, but 5,000 year period. During this time, the age of humanity that we know began to form. Worlds equipped with large mechs for agriculture began to equip them with weapons to defend from alien and demonic invaders. Over 5,000 years, this became a custom and tradition, dubbing them as night worlds, a feudal society of honor-bound knights in gigantic robots that uphold the chivalric code to defend their worlds and honor. A group of individuals on Mars, after radioactively bombing their planet to become inhospitable to human life, ran their entire lives underground on the few life support systems keeping them alive. Those technicians who could work on the machines and keep them operational were revered, and over 5,000 years went from skilled members of society to full-blown priests. The cult mechanicus, or tech priests of Mars, formed in the ashes of the Red Planet with a religious fervor and doctrine on the cult of the machine god. And on Earth, or Terra, techno-barbarian tribes waged war across the planet in a Mad Max style of blood and gore, until finally, a mysterious man who lived in the shadows of Terra for millennia finally revealed himself to the populace. His name was the Emperor. He deemed himself the Emperor of mankind. Where did he come from? I don't know. Why is he 10 feet tall and the most powerful psyker of all of mankind?
Wait, how tall?
Come from? I don't know. Why is he 10 feet tall and the most powerful psyker of all of mankind? I don't know. Why is he basically immortal? I don't know. Where'd Cotton Eye Joe go? Who knows? But he's here, and he isn't happy with all of you ripping up Terra. So he began the Unification Wars, where he and a very early version of the famous Space Marines, the Thunder Warriors, reunited Terra under a single banner. With blood. Then, after taking over Earth, he reunited the Thunder Warriors into the fucking dirt. This is where we get the Imperium of Man, also known as the Imperium. The new faction headed by the Emperor of Mankind, with a treaty signed with the Cult Mechanicus on Mars to spread out and reunite humanity after the catastrophic age of strife. But first, the Emperor is going to need some smaller versions of himself. 20 of them, 18 of them, I meant, gene-crafted sons of the strongest human to ever live.
Oh, this is the legions.
Unparalleled strategic power, intelligence, formidable strength and size.
0% loyalist. What do you mean? I'm total loyalist.
Humanity and stop the chaos of the current galaxy. Speaking of chaos, you ever seen that image of that guy? It's like throwing the baby like a basketball. That's not what happened. The Chaos Gods intervened and grabbed the 18 Primarch gestation pods and yeeted them across the galaxy at a whim, everywhere they could possibly go. A galactic game of keep away. So the Emperor had to get them back. So begins the Great Crusade, a crusade across the stars to reunite not just humanity, but the Emperor with his fallen sons. The first to be found was Horus. One of the strongest and most noble sons. The Emperor carried with him a legion of newly crafted warriors with genetic material made from their Primarch father. These are the newly made Space Marines. For Horus, his were the Luna Wolves. And as the Emperor continued on his great crusade, he found more and more of his sons, reuniting them with their individual Space Marine legions. Leman Russ, the cunning hunter with the Space Wolves. Rogel Dorm, the Phalanx with the Imperial Fists. Angron, the Barbarian, the very angry with his World Eaters. Fulgrim, the Perfect with his Emperor's Children. And Jagatai Khan, the Swift, the Stoic, and his white scars. Those were just some of the 18, and one by one his lost Primarch sons were returned to him, and their Space Marine legions returned to them. The Great Crusade saw humanity once again reconquer the stars, returning worlds of humanity back to the Imperium and killing any and all who stood against their noble crusade. But in the years of the 31st millennia, treachery would break this all apart.
Oh, there you go.
Horus, the Emperor's most beloved and favored sons, named War Master for the Crusade, succumbed to the power of chaos and daddy issues, all because of bastard Erebus. Yo, fuck Erebus. Slowly, Horus would become corrupted, turning the Emperor's sons against him. This begins the most pivotal moment in our story, and the one that has like 50 books written about it, the Horus Heresy. 9 of the 18 Primarchs turned against the Emperor, and the following years were a bloody battle for the throne of Terra. The Emperor originally was working on a special webway project, just like the Eldar, to make faster-than-light travel significantly easier and safer, really improve humanity to allow them to conquer the stars without the risk of the warp. Well, this big red idiot named Magnus kind of blew a hole into that, literally and figuratively. So Biggie over there is stuck on a gigantic golden throne, holding back the oncoming rush of demons and powering the Astronomicon, basically a big North Star for people who are sailing in the warp to help them navigate. The Horus Heresy saw many loyalist and traitor legions pitted against each other in a bloody war until it reached Terra itself. Horus, unable to break through the lines and with time running out, made a gambit and opened his ship up to be boarded. The Emperor took this challenge, quickly allowing someone else to take control of the throne as he teleported his way onto Horus's flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. The Emperor, unable to truly kill his most beloved son, changed his mind right quick when Horus strangled the life out of his other son, Sanguinius.
Oh no!
I'm sure you've seen this image at some point. The Emperor then said, I'm not gonna.
No!
I'm sure you've seen this image.
Yeah, I think I've seen this somewhere. Oh, interesting. It's freaking badass, though.
Some point. The Emperor then said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and proceeded to psychically blast Horus into complete oblivion, killing not only his body, but also his soul.
There you go.
Horribly wounded from this duel, the Emperor is returned to the Golden Throne in order to keep the demons at bay and power the Astronomicon, because without it, humanity would be flying blind. There he sits, slowly dying from his wounds and the strain of powering the Golden Throne. The only thing keeping him alive is feeding upon the souls of 1,000 Psykers every single day. This was 10,000 years ago. We are now in the 41st millennium, modern day. Warhammer 40,000.
Damn.
The Emperor remains on his throne. The Imperium is a rotting carcass of an empire, a fascist, xenophobic cult that worships the Emperor as a deity despite him never wanting to be seen as a god. Over the span of
There's
1
reasons why.
million worlds, the ecclesiarchy, the church of the Emperor, is spread throughout. Inquisitors with unparalleled power root out any sign of heresy or lack of devotion to their god Emperor. The other half of the traitor legions move about as Chaos Space Marines, raiding and pillaging the Imperium, while the loyalist half does their best to keep the Empire alive. All throughout this, they must endure Orc invasions, Eldar trickery, the reawakening of the Necron race, and the Great Devourer, the newest tyrannid threat from the darkness between galaxies that has arrived to feast on their worlds. The theme of Warhammer 40,000 is regression and intolerance. Every major faction in Warhammer has had an empire that spanned the galaxy only to be crushed back to a hollow shell of what they once were due to their own failings. Culture, the arts, personal freedom, religious tolerance, the simple possibility that alien life might not want to kill us is considered heretical and is often met with a pistol to the head. There is no time for these things. All there is time for is worship of the God Emperor and a million wars to be fought. To be a human in the 41st millennia is 99% of the time to live a horrible existence, to be one of trillions of other humans across a million worlds throughout the galaxy. A galaxy where AI is outlawed, so humans are repurposed and lobotomized to become slaves. A place where lack of devotion is met with death. And if you even have devotion, there is a good chance the threats to the galaxy, chaos, and aliens will kill you anyway. Warhammer is a world where you revel in being bad. There are protagonists, there are antagonists, but every faction is some shade of evil. Because playing the bad guys is always more fun.
That is
and
true.
my friend, you have a selection. So pick up that las gun, soldier. You and the other 3 million men and women in this single deployment on this single world in this single battle will now show them the might of the God Emperor. That weapon in your hands has killed 99% of the alien populations in this galaxy. Unfortunately for you, soldier, you're fighting the final 1%. May the Emperor be with us. Glory to the first man to die, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
Right, a healing stations on the dark side of the man. 4 minutes of what the fuck? That's just me.
Thank you, everyone. I hope I have helped teach you about Warhammer. If you are a brand new person and you want to get a bit more about the world, there are multiple books that do a great job at showing off how the entire universe operates. For the most part, Warhammer is a setting, and often stories are told in that setting with a Warhammer coat of paint. Gaunt's Ghosts is Band of Brothers, but Warhammer. It's honestly one of my #1 recommendations for new people. Assassinorum Kingmaker is an assassin novel involving those night worlds. This is Mission Impossible, but Warhammer. Bloodlines is Blade Runner, but Warhammer. And the list goes on and on. If I had to recommend a brand new novel for a first-time Warhammer enjoyer, these are the 4 I would recommend. Horus Rising, Caiaphas Cain, First and Only Gaunt's Ghost, and
Damn. Horus Rising sounds interesting though.
Infinite and the Divine. They are all fantastic novels, and they will get you acquainted with the world without needing to know too much. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Get yourself a Gamer Subs flavor, enjoy the new sweet 6-pack, and if you're curious and you want, you know, just a little lord, you can find him in the description as well on my merchandise store, orchid8.com. Thank you for watching.
Damn. This is like a This is like basically a summary. It's fucking that deep already. Shit. All right, so next one is this one. So these are the factions. Part 1? How many parts are there?
As someone who doesn't necessarily serve
Damn, 4
the
years ago.
Messiah, but someone who can appreciate them, you will not be getting my legs today, as I will be
Is that any
replacing.
video? Okay, where? Set it in like, I don't know, gaming? Yeah, because you can't send links on my chat. Servitor's Fate. Oh, this is Dark Side?
them with various things depending on which faction we are.
One sec.
I cannot restore your purpose so easily, but I will try.
Wait, let me go back.
I cannot restore your purpose so easily,
Damn.
but I will try. Can you take me with you? Please. I am so lonely. My sole purpose is to serve. I cannot serve, cannot continue. Error.
Beneficent Emperor, why have you forsaken me?
Damn.
I am not as functional as I was. I feel myself falling apart.
I have no purpose. No purpose.
Damn.
No purpose. No purpose. I cannot dream. I know only waking nightmare. Pieces of my
Yeah, this is
mind
haunting,
are
actually.
floating away. Please help. Please.
Shit. Damn, that's haunting. Ooh, shit. Had to call a repairman because the washing machine kept trying to remember its mother's face. Damn, that's fucked up though. At the same time, actually kind of fascinating.
We are currently talking about to add a little bit more context and possible comedy to whatever the hell I am currently doing. So, hello everybody, my name is Bricky, and this is going to be a long video and a large project that has been going on for quite some time. This is, I need two hands for this. This is every single Warhammer 40k race in kind of a nutshell, explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit of lore, a little bit of talking about the tabletop, but mostly lore, what they're all about, and also a little bit of background for those of you who just have no clue what Warhammer 40,000 is. Now you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a universe people hear plenty of, but don't know a whole lot about. They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power armor with chainsaw swords, and they got these big old green orcs, and there's some bugs over there, and everyone calls these guys weebs, and then there's these spiky bitches over here, and I don't get it. I don't understand. Where do I start? Well, this video is particularly for you, or for those of you who have a little bit of knowledge, but you're kind of curious
Radical
about the
viewer.
different races and factions in Warhammer. So overall, the Warhammer universe is vast when it comes to lore and
Shit, look at
background
that.
and each different
Wait,
faction.
I want to see that. Hey. Cadia, Shinshar, Belis Corona, Piscina. That's straight up fucking interstellar map here. Attila, Corinth, Gothic sectors, Cantrix, Maledictum, I mean. Vortex of Despair. There's the Milky Way and a little bit more. Yeah.
vast when it comes to lore and background, and each different faction is so different.
Ooh. Adeptus Sororitas, Astra Militarum, Blood Angels, Chaos Demons, Chaos Space Marines. This Chaos Space Marines, Dark Angels, Dark Eldar, Grey Knights, Imperial Knights, Space Wolves, Space Marines, Orcs, Tau, Necrons. I don't know the one behind them.
Different with the things that they believe in, and some are human,
Inquisitors?
some are transhuman, like where they all have all these crazy ass electronics on them. You've got aliens and you've got the chaos factions, and there's so much to entail that I decided to embark on this project to tell you what each and every single.
It's almost like StarCraft. It's like it's a mix of, imagine like Warcraft and StarCraft mixed together in one universe with a deep like history with gods.
One of them is about, and what the Warhammer universe is about as well, to give at least a little bit of an intro
There's a
to
funny
this
story about StarCraft.
extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So I will be explaining every single faction in
Inquisition,
the Warhammer 40k universe,
Tau, Empire,
at least all the
Tyranids.
factions you can play as, and some smaller factions here and there. I will not be discussing absolutely everything in it because that is a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore. I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different factions and have you learn a little bit about them, and we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well in case you are curious about that. But for this episode entirely, we are discussing the Imperium of Man because that takes up a fat chunk of Warhammer lore.
Oh, boo-hoo!
What is Warhammer 40,000? Well, the 40,000 starts off is the year 40,000, the 41st millennium. That's where it
No
takes
shit.
place, is in the year 40.
Well, to be fair, I wondered about that too. It's like 40k. What's 40k about it? It's like, oh, it's the year 40k.
41,000 AD. You're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote, first of many quotes in this video. It is the 41st millennium. For more than
Yeah, because if
100
your goal is going to hear like 40k, it's like, what's 40k about it? There you go.
years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass,
So basically, right now, the God Emperor is, or the Emperor, is basically just powering the Astronomicon and like basically supplying like psyker abilities, basically from what I understand, as of this point.
writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. To be a man in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times.
Damn.
Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods. Everything blows.
Basically.
And it blows fucking hard. Warhammer is probably
Yeah,
the
pretty much in a
most
nutshell.
dark and depressing universes ever in fiction, or at least like top 3. Everything is so absurdly
What's the
horrible,
other two?
destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War rages across the galaxy. Interstellar travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day
What the fuck?
to a rotting carcass of a man who you believe to be
Yeah,
your
powering
god.
Astronomicon is trying to
Demonic
keep demons
gods
away from
and
the dimension.
demons
Yep, there you go.
tear open the fabric of reality on a whim.
So just to be clear, the demons are coming from chaos, from the what do you call this? Coming from the warp, because of the ones that's using the psyker abilities, they're going through those, right?
Other Xenos or even other humans end up killing each other in untold billions across the galaxy. It is a time of unending
We're on track,
war,
we're on track.
slaughter, and a bloodbath amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim. Everything sucks. But that's like the charm of it. See, everything in Warhammer is evil.
In a sense,
but being evil is kind of fun. Like, humanity, in its own right, is a xenophobic, prejudice, and religious zealot group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies. And they're like mid to high tier evil on the evil scale of.
Wait. Guys who bring food, playing by intent, playing low tier for fun. Tyranids or accelerators, Imperium Man, Tau players. That guy, my rules.
Warhammer, nobody is good. No matter who you are, everyone is some flavor, some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But that's the fun of it. Because being the bad guy is badass. Villains are cool.
Yep.
They look cool. They got cool outfits. They got cool weapons. They got cool armies. Villains are cool, man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming, is that everyone can be the bad guy. So let's start off talking about the main bad guy, quote unquote, the Imperium of Man.
It's hair, whack. It's gear, whack.
The Imperium of Man is the main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under this one flag
that's the most
called
evil
the
one.
Imperium. And about 10,000 years ago, there was a man. He was the emperor of mankind, a 10-foot-tall psychic demigod who led humanity across the stars.
Always makes me look
to
up,
colonize
like,
tons and tons of worlds,
imagining, like,
create
how tall
superhuman
is 10
soldiers,
feet?
and really bring humanity into a new age. This man, the emperor of mankind, was a psyker. And a psyker is like a magician of sorts. In the world of 40K, there is
Wizard.
the warp, the
Wizard had it.
Immaterium, kind of like hell, but sort of like
I'm a
purgatory
what?
dimension of hell. And a psyker
Yeah,
is
wizard.
take that power and manifest it through
A
their
wizard.
mind to use it to do stuff. Well, like
Shit.
witchcraft stuff,
Yeah,
magician
the artwork's
stuff,
insane, though.
spells, and lots of other things, but we don't want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy psyker, top tier, A+, maybe even S. Now, the Emperor created a bunch of suns. Yes, created a bunch of suns known as the
Son of a bitch.
Primarchs. He created 18 Primarchs to have them lead.
Okay, what's the fucking inside joke there? He keeps saying going 20 and going back to 18. What's the other two? Horus is still alive. And what's the other name again? The one that Horus killed? I forgot the name. It's so hard to remember the names in here. But why he keeps dialing down to 18?
All of the different legions of humanity to the different stars and planets to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the Emperor.
Oh,
Not all of them are
salamanders.
psychers, but a lot of them are very, very powerful, and they lead his special Space Marine legions.
2 Primarchs did something so bad they got redacted. Really? Interesting.
Then this big clusterfuck happened called the Horus Heresy, where the Emperor's favorite son, the Primarch, Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 other, well, I guess 8.
But in reality, it's just that you can use a Primarch as a self-insert to play Horse. Oh, that is smart. You can use a Primarch as a self-insert. That is okay. That is smart. Yeah, that's actually really cool. That's a cool idea. It's like you purposely like set aside this part of like part of the story just so you can like add yourself like into it. Like, that's actually really cool.
9 of the 18, half of his Primarchs directly to Earth to fight down the Emperor himself. Now, if you want to know what Chaos is, remember what I mentioned earlier? The warp, that Immaterium, the hellish place? In there relies the 4 Chaos gods. Imagine like Satan and 3 other Satans. The warp being kind of evil, those Chaos gods, that's the reason. And so those Chaos gods...
Okay, out of those 4, The names are so fucking hard. The only thing the only two I can remember is Korn and Slanesh. The other two is so I can't. It's so hard to remember the names.
It's manipulated Horus, and then Horus helped
Papa
manipulate
Nurgle.
all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant coup directly on the Emperor on Earth, and they fucked up shit. After this huge civil war, Horus died, but not before brutally wounding the Emperor, and right at the end of his life, they put the Emperor on
Wait, did
this
he mention
large-
like who
manipulate-
Horus
and
killed?
so those Chaos Gods manipulated Horus, and then Horus helped manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant coup directly on the Emperor on Earth, and they fucked up shit. After this huge civil war, Horus died, but not before brutally wounding
Oh,
the
it
Emperor.
didn't say.
And right at the end of his life,
I keep
they
forgetting
put
the,
Emperor on this large golden
Primarch you
throne
killed.
on Earth, in which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly rotting away, powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he stays alive, and is fed 1,000 people a day. The Astronomicon
evaporated
is like
Horus.
the North Star. If you want to do interstellar travel in 40K, you need to pass through that demonic warp I mentioned earlier. But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps navigate you to know where you're going. If you want to go from Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel in Minecraft, so you can shorten the distance between going to areas. So long as the Emperor is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive, you can do that. The moment he dies, interstellar travel's gone for all of humanity. You're so boned. Now, since the Horus heresy 10,000 years ago, the Imperium has fallen from grace.
But still, though, like 1,000 souls a day.
All technology has started to
Fucking-
dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind was a deity, a true living god, which is probably the last thing the Emperor would have wanted to be remembered for. So now you have this thing called the Ecclesiarchy, which is this giant church entirely devoted to spreading the good word of the Emperor. He is now the Holy Emperor God, the God Emperor of mankind, and all of the Imperium has taken up worshiping him to the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't humanity in his name. The Imperium has this futuristic gothic tone to it and a hefty religious zealotry to them.
Yeah.
If you think anything
Yeah, the
against
designs
the
are
Emperor,
amazing.
that's heresy and you deserve to die. That is called being a heretic. Heretics die in 40K. There is no such thing as freedom of religion. There is no such thing as freedom of speech, so long as you are against the Emperor. There is no such thing as any.
You didn't even
kind
have
of
to be
tolerance.
against them.
Everyone is a religious zealot. Some more than others, but no matter what, you're preaching that good word. So right now, everyone in humanity is trying to expand their empire across the stars. If you are a heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the Emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the Chaos Gods, you are also a heretic and you deserve death.
Damn.
If you are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve death as well.
Xenos?
So long as the murder continues
Everyone's
and
looking like
humanity
he's very-
expands,
yeah, go fuck yourself.
the Imperium of Man is very, very happy. However, the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal
you're
favorite
almost
faction,
dead.
and the first faction we will discuss, the Astra Militarum, or also known as the Imperial Guard.
Pretty shit now, man.
Astra Militarum.
Man, game over, man.
The Imperial Guard is the main fighting force of the Imperium, and in a world of
Is this just like the
horrifying
normal
creatures,
humans?
galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through the fabric of time to kill you, the Imperial Guard are untold billions of regular men and women
Oh, yeah.
wearing modern day like flak armor with a laser rifle. This
Damn.
is the humble las gun.
The las gun.
The main weapon of the Imperial Guard. It fires superheated plasma lasers at an extremely fast fire rate.
It's basically
It's
Helldivers.
reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant holes in concrete. It is overall
Damn.
an extremely devastating weapon in modern day. It is one of the weakest in the 40K
It's
universe.
joking.
Yeah, a laser
first
rifle.
was what?
It is one of the weakest
flashlight.
in the 40K universe. Yeah, a laser rifle that never jams, it could blow off limbs, one of the weakest weapons. That's the world we're in right now. But
Yeah, the fucking rifles that the Space Marines have, it's like in Space Marine 2, for example, if you shoot like one of the normal humans, because sometimes they show up. I think it's during like chaos missions. The speeder shoot a can of a bullet. The bullet as explosives. Oh, okay. I thought it's just like really huge like rounds. Because if you shoot like one of the like humans like in Space Marine 2, even if you're just using like just like one round, they fucking blow up.
who cares? Because the Imperial Guard has in each battle 500,000.
They don't have to red paste yet.
30,000
It's just like
armored tanks,
it's like one bullet.
10,000
One
artillery
bullet.
batteries. The Imperial Guard wins through sheer numbers and firepower. They kind of have this World War I, World War II style aesthetic with legions of guardsmen as well as high company commanders
It's
and
like,
generals on the field along with
what was
them,
that movie?
and multiple kinds of
Where
troops. A
Helldivers,
normal Imperial Guard battle starts off with artillery, long lines of artillery, cracking the
Starship
crust
Troopers.
of the planet underneath the enemy's
It's
feet.
the Bolter and Dark
And
Side does the
as
same
this
thing.
barrage
Repo is crazy.
continues, hundreds of thousands of guardsmen, a sea of guardsmen surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible while the planet rumbles as tanks roll up behind them. Gunships block out the sun and tanks block out the dirt with the steps and hoofprints of millions of guardsmen. It is through numbers and sheer sundering firepower. They are the first and last line of defense for the Imperium and make up a huge bulk of the battles. The Imperial Guard is also made up of tons of different kinds of regiments. The Catachin Jungle Fighters live in a death
fucking
world
Rambo.
that's more hospitable than almost any firefight they'll ever get into. So they just have this steroid-looking, giant knife, Rambo Predator-looking.
Yeah, there you go.
sons of
Yeah, it's
bitches,
basically
where nothing
Rambo.
is anywhere near as scary as a simple knight on their home planet. You have the Valhallan Winter Soldiers who haven't felt their toes in 300 years, the Mordian Iron Guard who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle, and then of course the big one, the Cadians from
Cadians.
Cadia. The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium. You will fire
At least
the
I know
first gun
about
at 5.
Cadians.
You will disassemble and reassemble it at 10. You will have pounding artillery drills day in and day out at 15. And you'll fight your first Swarm Lord at 16.
Shit.
And if you mention Cadia, you will burst into an unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily. To quote, I have at my command an entire battle group of the Imperial Guard, 50 regiments including specialized drop troops, stealthers,
50.
mechanized formations, armored companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to
500,000.
command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite faction in 40K. They're the army I collect the
Ripcadia.
most, the ones I enjoy playing the most, and the one I enjoy in the lore sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle being told to charge the horrors of this universe and
Yeah, no one
willingly
touched
doing
about it
so
yet.
for his god emperor. It's just poetic. They actually represent the main Imperial Guard tactics pretty well. Large amounts of artillery that doesn't require a line of sight, lots of tanks, tons of
Look at
infantry,
that.
drop troops, and
That'd
gunships.
be a game
Overall,
of-
they're pretty similar to how
A
they
game of
sound,
Cadia.
though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately. And they don't hit a lot. They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care because
fucking
you're just drowning them in
Stormtrooper. This is a
shots.
fucking
However, if
Stormtrooper.
you want more accurate fire and specialization, we can move on to talk about Space Marines.
Space Marines. Angels of Death.
The Angels of Death are up next. Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers and superhumans. They're given extra organs, their skin tissue is toughened, their bones are stronger, they're taller than the average person. They're pretty massive people, and these are the specialized super soldiers that carry out a lot of the more specific tasks for the Imperium. And there's tons of legions of them. In fact, there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch, the Emperor's son, as I mentioned before, oversees their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade they get is based
the one I like
on
is
the
Iron
genes
Hands
of said Primarch. It's something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this like superhuman level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion. Robot Girly Man has the Ultramarines, Jagatai Khan has the White Scars, Rogel Dorn has the Imperial Fists, Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard. There's a whole bunch of other side sections that are also extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines, which we will discuss in a bit. Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines.
I think Raven Guard is the like the stealth.
In fact, it's been said that nothing
stealth legion,
that
basically.
large
I think
should move that quick. These men in power armor moving at blazing fast speeds, their reflexes are faster, their skin is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers. In fact, where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman are the main blue boys, strong in almost every way, the jack of all trades kind of group that are a little bit too strong, and that's a lore problem, but the White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes, we're talking land speeders.
Then Chaos said, fuck it, I just dived into their spaceships and they found itself. Damn! That's what destroyed it?
You want to go in quick, you want to hit them hard, you want them to be swarming around like buzzflies.
Wait, who is this?
Go in quick, you freaks, go fast. The White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed, freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes, we're talking land speeders. You want to go in quick, you want to hit them hard, you want them to be swarming around like buzzflies.
Damn.
Buzzsaws.
Buzzflies?
With the speed of buzzsaws. Fuck you, Pale King. Salamanders love fire.
Oh, salamanders.
Fire in forge, fire in battle. Flamers, melta-guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's big. And they're also actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines. A lot of Space Marines have this kind of like holier-than-thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the salamanders tend to put human lives above the lives of themselves, which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black, like 2 a.m. line at a White Castle black. Like they have a charcoal, dark, ashy exterior and blazing red eyes.
What the hell?
Apparently something about living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't know if that makes much sense, but who cares? This is like fantasy land anyway. Overall, salamanders are actually my personal favorite legions because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice, like, more heartwarming lore as opposed to being super evil like everyone else is. Oh my god, we're not even a quarter of the way through the Space Marine Legions.
Oh god.
Imperial Fists believe in the power of the siege and defensive positions.
Yeah, Imperial Fists are, I think Imperial Fists are more of the tanks. It's like more of the defense Legion, basically, I think.
Stealth and sabotage while having burn helmets. Iron Hands, Masters of Raven Guards.
Raven Guards, yeah,
Stealth and sabotage while having burn helmets. Iron Hands, Masters of Machines and Vehicles while being...
That's what I like. That's what I like.
Being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings, and wolves, and tons of wolves, and,
Space Wolves,
axes, battle axes, fur.
It's basically
everywhere.
Vikings.
Space Wolves, angry, big teeth, Blood Angels, the genetic defect to make them want to drink blood and go crazy.
Oh, it's like vampires, yeah.
Red thirst. They have Cupid wings and stuff, which is a little bit strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius. Dark Angels are old school knights and inner circle theme and...
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never.
Wait. I kind of missed
strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius. Dark Angels are old school knights and inner circle theme and...
Dark Angels?
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never. Once from a little moon, I know.
Death Watch, fancy pantsy
Oh, the Death Watch.
anti-Xenos group that nobody plays because Death Watch, and they look cool though, but no one plays them. I don't know about Death Watch. They're there though. Black Templars for the people who, if you haven't prayed.
Wait, I think Titus went there, right? Because I started Space Marine 2, Titus was in the Death Watch. The Archangels that faction that turned traitor, they want nobody. Oh, that's why.
3 times a day, you're going to start praying out that airlock. And I'm sure there's some other chapters I may have missed as well, like Crimson Fist and stuff, but those are the main ones right here. Here, quote from the Emperor himself. They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be of iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched.
Yeah, their rifles are basically cannons.
No sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are my defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. And on the tabletop, they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard. As of making this video, Space Marines are laughably strong. That might change at some point, but overall, Space Marines just have it's like a Swiss Army knife, a tool for anything you need, except it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife. It is extremely strong. If you are actually getting into the tabletop of Warhammer, Space Marines are a great start. Also, whatever gameplay style you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry, go fast and run in, or even just full melee, all of these options are totally there for you. Space Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
So is it any
the
wonder
Mechanicus
people are afraid of technology?
Technology! The Adeptus Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a technophile cult on Mars. Now, these people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really believe in the Emperor of Mankind. And you might think, oh, whoa, Berkey, that sounds like some heresy. A little bit. They believe in the Emperor, they believe in his power, but they don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah
that's what it
this
is.
kind of machine god that they believe permeates
one
in
sec.
all machines. And if you think, well, wait a minute, they believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy. Well, yes-ish. But
Kinda.
They also make all your guns, and they make all your tanks, and they make everything that you have.
Okay.
So
we have to reach a compromise.
Tell them to fuck off. Because you're not going to win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with. See, their Omnissiah at least makes sense from their standpoint. They believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your standard bolt gun, your Dune Strider Walker,
the bolter,
your giant mechs, your huge ships. The Omnissiah is present through all. And the only
that's all
reason your
Adeptus
stuff
Mechanicus?
works
Shit.
is because the machine's spirit in it says it works. If you want your gun to work, your tank to run, you must pray to it. And I mean full stop. You need to start.
Is that why they have even like the one that looks like scrolls, like tiny scrolls, like seals on the guns? I love the concept. In their own game, they call Necrons aliens while speaking binary. Really? They can speak Old English. Really? Necrons haven't shown up yet.
Chanting in high Gothic, you need to.
Aren't Necrons like just as of this point, like trying to get back? I think.
Burn
yeah,
incense.
those.
You need to sit on your knees and pray to that car. You need to rub oil on your robes, and you need to go, humana, 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 humana. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that. They are very bizarre, and they actually have a bit of a point because it's obviously working. And if you look at them, I don't know how that works. So they obviously.
So basically, baseball fans, pray to the OBS. Pray to the OBS. Yeah, just work, damn it. Don't screw up my game.
Obviously know something about what they're doing. The most notable member of the Adeptus Mechanicus is Archmagos, Magos, whatever, Belisarius Call. Look at this dude. Look at this dude.
Shit.
Yeah.
He's a fucking battle mage.
These are these weirdos. Here, the Omnissian Creed. The credo, Omnissiah. There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh, only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death. Flesh is weakness.
Based. Ooh, I'm starting to like him. Damn.
This flesh is death. The Omnissiah is the god of the machines, and if you wish to be whole, if you wish to be holy, if you wish to give unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your organs and replace them with mechanical parts, because that is what he wants, and that is how you will become enlightened.
That's actually the part why I like the Iron Hands, because they're more on like the tech.
Hard technophiles mixed with religious.
But this is like hardcore mode.
Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, for their army side of things, they are with the Scutari. The Scutari operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have extremely wacky and enjoyable, and in fact quite effective, both in the real game and in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the
Damn, look at
tabletop,
that.
they're very weird and have a whole bunch of different shenanigans, but if you like kind of that quirky, wacky techno thing, I'd give them a pickup. Hell, they're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here, one guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off, and they run around in a circle the whole time.
What the
until
fuck?
they need them, and then they corral it and they go into battle.
The fuck?
Yep. The Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, if you want to talk about faith, though, let's talk about the Sisters of Battle.
Oh, sorry, that's...
For an eagle in Lego City.
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus Sorority.
That's the thing, though, because the weird like woke shit keeps pushing that there are female space marines. They have this. I mean, what more do we need? You have the sororitas. And these are hot. Based. Yeah, they're not like weird mannish.
If that's how I pronounce it correctly, is an all-female group of battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of the Imperium. The ecclesiarchy is, of course, the church. This is, imagine a private army of the church, which is scary, and it is. The sisters
Basically
are an extremely zealotous force, and they take this to a full extreme. They believe in three main things: faith, martyrdom, and fire. Through the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, the Sisters of Battle are extremely
they can use bolters too?
at taking out chaos and heretics. Mainly heretics, because as they are a fighting section of the ecclesiarchy church, that's the big thing they want to kill. Any form of heretic will face the Emperor's justice through those three main weapons: the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, and they will do so with extreme prejudice. Literally. They are the closest thing.
So basically, so they can use the wear power armor too, the space marines. Really? Okay, so why would you need like fucking female space marines? Stupid fucking weird ass feminists. You had this. This is perfectly fine. It's pretty badass, actually.
Things we have two nuns in space, and I'm talking hardcore nuns. They carry holy fire.
What the
on
fuck?
Their backs. They have holy books and sigils all across their armor. Their main battle tank is a fucking pipe organ missile launcher. They have small babies that they have like removed their brain capacity to make them little servant cherubs to fly around and give them ammunition and shit.
Oh, this is the ones that shows up in the base, like in Space Marine 2. Like there's like tiny cherubs like that flies around.
Drop churches from low orbit as mini drop pods onto battles. They drop churches into battles, and they blare war hymns and holy music from their frigates in low atmosphere and shower holy water across the battlefield.
It's fucking
These
buff.
are the people you are dealing with, and they're fucking awesome. They can literally stave off demons on the tabletop because their faith is that strong. Remember the warp, the demons from the warp? Well, the warp also manifests in your mind. All of your emotions, negative and positive, go through the warp. It's the immaterium, the place of all things. So if you are that mentally fortified, that mentally strong, you can stave off horrifying demons. And all these girls, oh, not a crack in that mental armor. Now, as much as a meme as they are,
badass.
and as much as their models look a lot like Ongo Gabloglian, yeah, which I can't unsee anymore, I gotta say, I love their design. I think they're extremely cool. They're another army that I'm currently collecting. They just released a whole new line of
Damn, look at
figures
that tank.
very recently, and they look wonderful. Everything from Celestine,
Look at that fucking
the
tank.
Lonely,
Dude, that's fucking awesome. There's a fucking pipe organ on top.
and they look wonderful. Everything from Celestine, the living, literally undying saint from the triumph of Saint Catherine, which is literally a funeral procession as
Wait, they got fucking factions too. Oh, that's awesome.
a model, those organ tanks I mentioned earlier. This shit is the most over-the-top badassery in a lot of the Warhammer universe, and goddamn it, is it over the top. But Sisters of Battle are so cool. While I'm a guardsman at heart, oh, this is such a cool faction. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and Melta Blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So it has been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time.
Damn.
And speaking of burning demons.
Oh shit, Grey Knights. Hey, sup yellow? Welcome back, welcome back.
The Grey Knights are the first army I actually collected back in
We're
7th
watching like
edition.
Warhammer stuff.
Grey Knights are a super secretive and much more old school look at power armored knights, except they are all
I love the
psychics.
helmets though.
All of them have that crazy space magic magician shit.
Really?
For every 100,000 guardsmen,
I love the helmet design. There's a faction that will go punish themselves and they connect with. Really? Damn. How you doing, yellow? Yeah, I love the fucking helmet like design. It has like the angle, like the sharp angles. It looks like a fucking castle.
there's one Grey Knight. For every 10,000 Sisters of Battle, there's one Grey Knight. For every 1,000 Space Marines, there's one Grey Knight.
Oh,
Grey
shit.
Knights are the strongest of the strong, both in mental will and absolute just
It's basically
strength.
special
These
forces.
are Space Marines that are all high-level psychers, all of them able to specifically do one goal, and that is kill demons. The Emperor believed that the demons of chaos were the number one
Ooh.
threat to the Imperium, and he probably is right.
So it's,
However,
like, separate
this
from
group
the,
is entirely based on doing that through a myriad of tactics. Coming from the planet, or I guess the moon of Titan in the Sol system, the Grey Knights are thrown through extremely rigorous training and are as clear of mind and soul as they possibly can be. Since the demons of the warp are
So
the
this is
warp
separate
and
from
your
the
mind projects
18
to the
factions?
warp, people can go insane very fast, especially lower level psychers. These Grey Knights need to be able to harness the warp in the presence of demons and stay perfectly sane. One of their characters, one of my favorite characters, is named Castellan Crow. He has a demon blade, the black blade of Mahamahama.
What?
And he has to have it on him because it
Is it not
tempts
Space Marines?
everyone
Oh, okay, there's
nearby,
something else.
constantly
Okay.
beckoning them. Use my power. Use my strength. Suck my penis. Whatever the possibility. And so he has to keep it on him all the time as this thing whispers to him consistently. And he has to save it off forever, being alone in his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted a little too hard. He is that pure of heart and mind.
Damn.
And all the characters in the Grey Knights are basically like that. The only issue is that the Grey Knights have a scorched earth policy, more ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy.
Yeah.
So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons and the Grey Knights arrive and they kill all the demons, I'm a risk. And so guess who's not making it out of there? On the tabletop, they're very strike fast, strike hard kind of people. They teleport all around the place. They are fast strike groups, small amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have so many characters, but with it, you get in there, you're very tough, very tanky, you hit really hard, and you try to bounce around the battlefield quickly, but you don't have numbers, and so every dead Grey Knight hits really damn hard. They're fun, though, if you like that kind of fast striking kind of army. Oh, and also, Caldor Drago is a thing. We're not even going to get into Caldor Drago. All right, that is, oh my goodness gracious. I am the hammer. I am the mail about his fist. I am the spear in his hand. Though we are lost, I am the shield on his arm. I am the flight of his arrows. I am the hammer. I am the sword. I am the shield. I am a soldier at the battle at the end of time.
Damn.
Grey Knights are pretty hardcore. They are as holy as you can get for a Space Marine. If you like Space Marines and you want to, that they're holy enough, you want to be holier, Grey Knights. Now, if you want to be holier and big, let's talk Imperial Knights.
Oh Lord, he coming!
Oh shit,
Do you
Imperial
like
Knights.
gigantic walkers the size of homes or medium-sized buildings? Do you want to kill heretics, but you want to kill like 40 of them per turn?
Oh shit, I thought it's like seeing the perspective here. It's like, Jesus Christ, those are huge. Like you can see the other guys like here.
Kill heretics, but you want to kill like 40 of them per turn? Do you want a gigantic old school knight noble house style of walkers with giant chainsaw arms? Then you got Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights, it's not a whole lot to talk about them because they're just gigantic walkers, but they have this old school like house feel to them, like literally like they're houses. Each Imperial Knight comes from a house, and each of them act in their own special way. These behemoth of walkers also destroy almost everything in their path, killing full swaths of squads in a couple shots, stepping on legions of troops. Like, these things do not mess around, and they look so cool. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights, actually, for that matter, don't have a whole lot to discuss. They're just super big, heavy walkers, and they look different depending on your house or chaos god you currently believe in. And overall, these things are just really cool if you want to murder everything in your path. They're the big, scary, big unit of Warhammer, and if you want to collect them, go to town. They make for a great painting project, too. Getting more back down to earth, let's talk something about a little bit different, a little more gold.
Oh, the Custodes.
If guardsmen are regular soldiers, Space Marines are super soldiers, Grey Knights are super soldiers, the Adeptus Custodes are super soldiers cubed. The Adeptus Custodes are the third major army I own. I know, 3 armies. I know, I got carried away, okay? But that's all. I only have 3, okay? They are our final brand of Space Marines, but these ones are super special. Okay, if a guardsman is 6 foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of Holy Terra, which is also Earth. Earth is Terra, Terra themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne room, hence Custodes. These boys protect the Emperor's throne room at all times and are literally like handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers. I think from a tube. These behemoth of men are like 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall, and functionally immortal. They stand still, spear in hand, for hundreds of years without
Damn.
the need to sleep and barely even the need to eat, watching over the throne room and every other area
How's
of
that
Holy
hap-
Terra
how does it happen?
for their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord, are they terrifying. These custodians put Space Marines to shame. If you liked your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers. One of these men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well, like the Solar Watch, or there's also one of my personal favorite, the Aquilon Shield. The Aquilon Shield go out to seemingly unimportant individuals and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important.
They have like more of a Mayan like design to it, like, you know.
In their lives, for instance, let's say a regular guardsman gets the protection
more
of
like
this
sun
giant 8.5
designs.
foot tall golden god, because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The custodians work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered, but never outmatched. These people are pretty horrifying, both on the tabletop as well as in the lore. There are very few of them, however.
Damn, look at that.
There's actually an extremely small amount of them, but that's kind of the point. There's only so many of these people that can have war gear this strong, weapons this powerful, and training this good. And the custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue,
100 years,
but always
damn.
ready. Always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat.
Damn.
For 100 years I stood my watch, and as it ends I can tell you this: patience is a weapon. The custodians are the top dogs of the Imperium, and they hurt just that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about the Sisters of Silence before we get out of here, because the Sisters of Silence I also have a few of, and they're really fun, but they don't get enough attention. These kind of bald plume ladies are a whole group of pariahs, are also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on.
Huh.
So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because
Oh.
of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like,
And they also wanted to make
uncomfortable
you-
nature
yeah,
when
exactly.
around them.
That's what I
When
heard.
a Sister of Silence walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange. So most of them don't actually live past childhood, because once they are birthed, they're, well, you know, killed or something at a very young age, because they just emit a horrifying aura. These ladies, however, are guardians of the throne as well for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians are psychics, so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons and other kinds of psychic phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized in it, all of them taking a vow of silence as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence,
Yeah.
but they communicate through hand gestures and things of that nature. But if there's a demon issue, if there's any kind of warp-based problem, the sisters are extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats, but they're not represented that way on the tabletop. In fact, they only have like one.
So I'm guessing the custodes are also psychers, right? Because the Grey Knights are also basically psychers. So if the custodes are basically one step above like the Grey Knights, so are they're psychers too, right? Or are they just straight up like bigger Space Marines?
One real model for them, which is very unfortunate. I hope they'll get something new soon, because I think they should really be working together as it is that way in the lore, but hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking about blanks, let's talk assassins.
Officio Assassinorum. Grey Knights gets thrown to Demon Road.
It's been a long video. We're about to round it out. We got this and one more human thing, and then we're done. The assassins, though, the Officio Assassinorum, oh boy, these people are deadly.
So, but about the custodes, are they also psychers or nah? So since Grey Knights are psychers, but they are thrown into mostly like in the warp. So, how about the custodes? Custodians are guarding the important planets. Never. That's like, oh, okay, they're not psychers. Okay.
Yeah, they're called assassins. They should be, but oh man.
But they're so basically
These
they're
people
anti-psychers,
mess
especially
you
like
up.
the
So these are
the
from
blanks.
the Officio Assassinorum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assassinorum from the what was it called? Scola Progenium. It's basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something. You get sent to this, and you get trained to be whatever.
Okay, I'm interested in
Tempest's
this.
drop troop, an inquisitor, maybe even. Maybe you get a blank gene and you get thrown into the Sisters of Silence, or sometimes you just disappear. When you are taken, however, you go to one of 4 temples because the Assassinorum works in the temple style of things. These temples are the Vindicare, Caluxus, Calidus, and Eversor temples. Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks.
Snipers.
Poof! The Vindicare Temple is the main sniper-based temple.
Ooh.
Gigantic sniper rifles for all these assassins. Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there, eye and scope, for weeks, waiting for their perfect target, taking people out from literal miles away.
Damn.
After extremely long time periods. The Vindicare Temple is about precise, perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away. Temples in the head.
How about
jugular,
espionage?
for instance, and been sitting there after weeks. And when they're ready, take that shot. Time is done. Packs them up. The Calidus Temple, however, is a lot more about shape-shifting and deviant art. It's mostly a female-based one, or at least it seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to kind of transmorph themselves.
So more blending,
and,
yeah.
Infiltrate areas that are problems.
Okay.
These assassins will end up taking missions that take them years, 2-3 years, to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way up, just to get enough time to put a bullet into the main target's head and then escape unharmed. Or
So basically Black Widow.
become the main target and sabotage it from within.
What?
These are all completely about deception, mind tricks, polymorphing, and everything in between.
Oh, that's
And,
badass.
Lots of drawings. Lots of drawings.
Oh.
The Eversor Temple. Just kind of disturbing one. The Eversor Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want
Damn.
it all dead. An Eversor is psychogenically conditioned with just psychotherapy and psychological torture to only feel violence, hatred, and anger. It does the Clockwork Orange style of thing of just making you forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and psycho conditioning, I guess is the term.
So they had to
then
watch
pump
TikTok?
you full of tons of psychedelic drugs, and they cryo-freeze you.
Damn.
And then they drop you in an area where they just want to make sure everything is dead. And
Damn.
then you defrost, full of just all this insane, mind-boggling psychotherapy.
So basically
and
berserkers.
psychedelic drugs, and you just go to town. Yeah, if you don't care if anyone comes back
Where's the
alive.
original
You're like,
400
all
with
right,
Christian
lost cause,
documentary?"
send them in. Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Caluxus Temple. The Caluxus assassins are feared even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Caluxus Temple with this as well. And this is where they can harness that to be massively anti-psyker or even just anti-regular people. They're seen with extreme fear and distrust among many, many people. They're described by the Eldar by quote as being pure evil. Imagine that uncomfortable feeling from that blank gene I mentioned, and then imagine them being taught and given equipment to amplify it by 100.
What the
If
fuck?
normally regular people feel uncomfortable, now they are basically akin to being a siren wailing directly in your ear. And if you're a psyker, Oh no.
Oh,
The
shit.
sheer presence of a Caluxus assassin is enough for you to tear your skin off. You will rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person. The Caluxus assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds, and they will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down.
So
because it
basically
is a
anti-psyker
suitable
specialists.
choice over being anywhere near you. The motto of that temple is, "That which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear." Now, for the tabletop,
That's true.
assassins aren't that special. You can call them in no matter what Imperium faction you are, and they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of finesse. And they work the way you generally want them to, though. You want to cause some distortion and weird stuff, you take a Calidus. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor. You want to kill that one guy, Vindicare, and if you have a lot of Psychers, Caluxus. It's a nice little, like, jack of all trades if you have a specific thing you want to kill.
That is
And you
cool.
get to choose which is really fun. But now, let's talk about the last human faction. We can round this video out before we do part 2, the Inquisition. And we have a lot to talk about with them.
Well, on the subject of heresy.
Oh boy. Where do I even begin with the Inquisition? Take every secret police you can think of. The KGB, the Gestapo, the CIA, FBI, any of these kinds of people. And then mark it up by about 10.
Damn.
And give them the most power in the entire Imperium.
What the fuck?
You know what? How about this?
Power in what
this,
sense?
This right here, it's not just a quote. This is the imperial motto, the motto of the Inquisition. I apologize for my bad pronunciation. Innocentia nihil probat. Innocence proves nothing.
What?
The most powerful organization in the Imperium, the secret police, their #1 motto is innocence proves nothing.
What the
The
fuck?
Inquisition goes around like the secret police or like detectives to find issues in the Imperium. And they have different ordos depending on which one we're talking about. The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious, they deal with heretics. Xenos tries to find alien threats, and Malleus is demons. They all have different specializations in what they're trying to go for as this Inquisitor. And that's what they're called, Inquisitors. Each of them, as an Inquisitor, has their own free reign to do as they wish. They may have a ship and a crew, and they go out to find problems and interrogate people a lot. They are above the law in every department over Space Marines.
Damn.
Now, the Space Marines might argue against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of blowback, but technically they are above them as Inquisitors.
Damn.
They are looking to investigate and figure out coups and cults and demonic incursions and possible Xenos issues like gene stealers or a new threat coming into an area.
Gene stealers.
They're about learning that stuff and actually doing detective work. And memes aside, they're pretty good at it. The Inquisition having all of this power does make them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes. And yes, it is still a bad thing, but most of them are pretty good at their job. And they spend a lot of time being very diligent to make sure that all of these leads they follow are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives with just enormous power and sometimes a bit of a power complex. And we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus is deeming a planet unfit to be saved.
What?
I deem that this planet is demon infested and taking it back will cost too many resources and is not worth it. I have now committed Exterminatus on this planet. I will now sign the death warrant of an entire Imperium planet as it is unfit to take and better to be destroyed than allow the enemy to hold it. This can mean saturation bombardment. This can mean cracking the planet's core and breaking it apart. Doesn't matter. Render this
So this is what happened with Cadia?
Hospitable to all life. Yes, the innocent
Or is it like
nothing people are the only people who can choose this planet must die in its entirety.
I think this is the first mission in the
Yeah, you're playing
Space
the
Marine 2.
villain. Now it is mean a
Exterminatus.
lot, but most Inquisitors are very rare.
Gene
to do
stealers are
Exterminatus.
Gene stealers are targeted cults, and yes, they infiltrate planets for the actual aliens. Okay.
Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy all of them. Now, naturally, with the memes aside, there are some people who are a little bit rough on this one. But most Inquisitors generally don't like to exterminate a ton, but it is an option they have. And it's a crazy option when you think about it. Secret Police Inquisition are unfortunately not represented on the tabletop very much. You generally kind of put one in your army if you feel like it. You have a couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well, and personally they need a lot more stuff put in there, and they really need a lot more effort put into them. And they're not quite where I want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a lot of the best storytelling as well, because it's a little bit hard to talk about a big story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something, right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting. Having that intrigue and that moral dilemma that an Inquisitor has makes for a lot better media. And honestly, the more people do it, I think it's better, because then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer horrible, horrible grimdarkness. And wow, we just finished the humans, all right? Come back for part 2 when we talk about Chaos and Xenos, because we got to talk about the 4 Chaos Gods and all the Chaos Marine Legions and the Tau and the Necrons and the Orcs, and oh boy, we got a lot. I'll see you in part 2.
Damn. Okay, where's part 2? Oh, here's part 2. I think after part... Oh, damn, it's an hour. I think we're gonna leave... Yeah, I think we're gonna save part 2 for tomorrow. Or... maybe next week? But yeah, I think, yeah, we'll do another Warhammer stream. Damn, it's fucking badass though. Okay, what's something shorter? Uh, 10 worst jobs. Damn, everything's like is fucking long. So I'm guessing Dark Tide is wait, I got the Fall of Cadia from Battlefleet Gothic in your... Oh, hey, cool. Oh, here it is. Okay. How long is this? Oh yeah, that's perfect. Before we can go with this for this as the last. Oh, I thought I played it.
For 10,000 years, the Eye of Terror has spewed its ageless horrors into the galaxy, gnawing at the eternal glories of the Imperium, at the very soul of mankind itself.
Oh, nice production.
And for every one of those 10,000 years, the fortress world of Cadia has held the gate closed. An adamantium bastion, granted strength by flesh and bone, and seeded purpose by faith in the Emperor's holy light. But as the darkness grew ever deeper, and the blaze of the Astronomicon guttered like a wind-blown candle, the Eye of Terror.
This is bad. This is pretty good.
Its baleful energy spilling anew across the stars.
Ooh. Oh, this is where the demons came in? Oh, yeah.
With a shriek that echoed through nightmares from Medusa to Ultramar, the Black Fleet slipped its moorings, An endless tide of heretics, traitors, demons, and madmen whose desperate fealty was given over to a single damned soul. Abaddon the Despoiler, inheritor of the arch-traitor Horus's reviled legacy. The 13th Black Crusade, herald to a fresh age of nightmare, had begun. Stalwart Cadia would be the first to feel its wrath.
A Blackstone fortress! Without our shields, that accursed Hulk will scour Cadia clean.
Repairs to the null array are underway. We require only a matter of days.
Yeah, this production is pretty good.
For time. I have none to give.
Vetera.
My wolf will buy all that he needs. Unearth my battle
What the
bards,
hell?
prepare for
489
my
subs?
By the Fang. I'll not die without a fight.
Yeah, I know this is AI, but still.
Sven Bloodhowl, stalwart of a brotherhood famed for their courage. But sometimes, courage is not enough.
Initialization failed. Null array inert. Insufficient power. Insufficient power. Rerouting. Reroute failed. Power surge. Processing. No data. Power building. Null array deploying.
Oh, so basically it's an actual like invasion. I thought it came from within.
Not through the bravery of Sven Bloodhowl.
I thought they
labors of
came
Magus
into like
Clark,
some kind of
but through the
warp
intercession
inside the
of a
planet.
mysterious benefactor. But the respite was short-lived. As the cheers faded, traitor warships blackened the skies. The siege of Cadia Secundus had begun. The forces of the Despoiler came in numbers uncounted, but the walls of Casa Crath held. Even in that darkest of days, the flame of humanity's valor burned bright. With faith burning
Came from all
in their
sides.
hearts, the defenders held the Chaos Hordes at bay, uncaring of the losses they bore in exchange. But flesh fails and faith flickers. With every bloody moment, Abaddon's forces drew closer to victory.
Damn. Damn, look at the detail.
Archmagos, your reputation precedes you, but you choose a bleak time to come to Cadia.
Bleaker than you know. My adepts uncovered pylons on Area 6. They are a perfect match for those present on Cadia, but were reduced to null during the Fourth Black Crusade.
Abaddon. His malice holds greater purpose than we knew.
Agreed. Ruined pylon fields have been discovered on many worlds, all unmade by the Despoiler.
Why? Their heritage is alien, their purpose unknown.
The pylons' forges remain shrouded, known only to the Omnissiah. But their purpose is revealed. They contain the Eye of Terror. If they are destroyed, the Immaterium will claim all. The Imperium will be no more. The pylons must be safeguarded. They are our only weapon against the encroachment of chaos. But I need time to study.
Go. Make your studies. May the Emperor guide you.
Oh. where are the pylons? This is the pylon? Oh, that's more than I thought. Oh shit.
I mean you no harm. But you are an abomination. I prefer honored guest. But
Is it Necron?
abomination or not, you and I have common cause. Logic dictates otherwise. Then you don't seek to understand the nature of this matrix.
Yeah, it is a Necron, yeah.
You comprehend its secrets. I was there when they first awakened. Or perhaps I wasn't. Memory is such a fickle thing. Neither of us desires to see this galaxy ripped asunder by the Imperial ones. Destroy me if you wish.
The Infinite?
Nothing will change. For me, for
straw.
you, for this world. Show me.
Admiral, this is madness. Entering real space so close to a planet, you'll doom us all.
A good officer commands without doubt and obeys without question.
Entering real space in 3, 2, 1.
Blessed Emperor, we're in the heart of the fight.
This is Admiral Catalia to Battle Group Silver Dawn. Form up.
Damn, look at this.
Incoming enemy squadrons!
Race for impact.
We've lost the Purity Blade!
Silver Dawn to Cadian High Command. Where do you need us?
This battle is lost! We must disengage!
Coward. Commissar. Do your duty.
As the Emperor wills. Incoming transmission.
Phalanx to Silver Dawn. This is Commodore Trevaux. Situation critical. Chaos sources have launched a full-scale planet strike. They aim to destroy the pylons of the Elysian fields. They must not succeed. Reinforce the position. The Phalanx will cover your back. Remain vigilant. We have reports that the despoiler leads the assault. The Emperor protects.
The Emperor protects.
The Emperor
Silver
protects.
Dawn. This is the Admiral. All ahead full.
Auspex readings indicate unusual energy signatures at the Elysian fields.
Explain. I need more.
Oh, there it is.
By the Emperor.
On the Sire's grace, this is beyond my experience. Analyzing.
Hurry. What are we looking at?
Analyzing complete. The pylons, the energy beam is repelling the Eye of Terror.
How is that possible? No matter.
I have terror, I have terror.
Prepare for planet strike.
Ah, Murray-san, Rajay.
Incoming transmission. It's the Phalanx.
The despoiler has retreated to the vengeful spirit to lick his wounds. We cannot let this opportunity slip away. All vessels, engage the vengeful spirit. For the salvation of mankind and vengeance long due, we will destroy this abomination once and for all.
This is Admiral Catalia to Battle Group Silver Dawn. We have our orders, and we're closer than anyone else. Today, the arch-traitor dies at our hands. Divert all power to weapons. Load torpedoes.
This is because of the Necron that showed up earlier.
We shall not fail. Fire! All weapons!
The vengeful spirit is firing, sustaining hull damage, structural breaches on all decks.
No! No!
Weapon system critical, reactor critical. Fires reported on all decks. We are heavily damaged. Estimated crew loss 65,000.
The vengeful spirit
65,000.
intercepted our torpedoes. No significant damage.
What? What have I done? My pride. My arrogance.
Additional Chaos vessels inbound.
Oh shit.
Very well. If that is how this ends.
Oh, it's the warp.
If we are to die, let it be with the Emperor's light in our eyes and his fury in our voice. We fight on. All hands. One last effort before they overwhelm us.
Shit.
Admiral, the enemy are peeling away.
No. You must be mistaken.
Confirmed. They are moving towards the wreckage of the Blackstone Fortress.
What? What are they doing? Vox officer.
There's a lot of
transmit
pylons, though.
wideband message to all forces on Cadia. Tell them to evacuate the planet. Now.
What, they're pushing it to the planet? Ah, shite. Oh shit, that's bigger than I thought. Okay. Ripcadia. Wait, this is a game? Damn. Okay, that's how it is. Well, that sucked. It's a spaceship game? Huh. Game movie. Damn, that's nuts though. Oh, it's RTS. Oh, I'm pretty weak with that. I used to play Warcraft and StarCraft, but I sucked at it. All right. I think I can stop here. What time is it? 2, almost 2. Yeah, I think you'll stop it. We'll stop here for now. Tomorrow, I'll be checking out what Toshi's been like bugging me about, like the epic musical thing. He said, Toshi, you said like 2 hours, right? So yeah, I can do this. Yeah, we can go for a stream for that. So, but for the others, for the part 2 for the legions in, wait, not legion. Yeah, for the rest of the legions, we can do it next week. Probably probably Saturday again. Yeah, I'm actually really I'm really fascinated about it. So I'm also like really interested about the Necrons though. I thought the Necrons are like still in the process of like getting back. So I think they're already like around here and there, I guess. But yeah, yeah, this is really fascinating though. All right, so tomorrow, yeah, same time. Probably gonna delay it like maybe 30 minutes. Probably. I'll see how it goes. Probably gonna start it. Yeah, either 30 minutes or an hour later tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But I'll just post on Discord. All right. Anyway, Juan, thanks for hanging out with me. Same with Toshi. I'm not sure if you're still here. Marisa, sumang schedule. ここまでは配信のが終わったらと思います。ちょっと遅かったよな。けどまあ、明日は、俺のいつもの配信の時間は、1時間半時間半時間から1時間が、配信の時間がしてますから、明日のことですから、けど明日が月曜日なんだよね。じゃあ、とにかく、そうします。Alright。けど、今回は、来てくれてありがとう。いつもでありがとうございます。じゃあ、月曜日は頑張ってくださいね。Alright。お疲れ。ありがとうね。Alright. Okay, I'll leave it here. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. また明日。Cheers, guys.